Welcome to Super Chevy Brothers Podcast. How
Yo,
you doing, Miko?
doing
Today is
good.
June
June what now?
20.
4th, right? I don't know. The days are blending together. Yeah, it's 24th.
Alexa, what today is it day? What day is today?
Oh, it's Wednesday.
Thank you, Alexa. It's Wednesday, June 24th, 2020. Welcome to Super Chevy Brothers Podcast, joined by your host, Chevar Price, and your co-host, Chevall Price. The only podcast that can drink water with one hand, just like our president. How was your
Oh Lord,
week this week?
it was good. Played a lot of fucking video games. I beat a lot of shit in the past week. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Naughty Dog games, and they're really pretty, but a lot of depressing shit I've been playing last week. I played Last of Us 1 and Last of Us 2. We'll talk about Last of Us 2 later. But me and Haley played through the first one pretty quickly. It took us about a week to finish it, about 5 days or so. A lot shorter than it took me the first time because I was slow as shit. But yeah, no, I've been doing that shit. I beat Uncharted Lost Legacy, and I've been playing Crash Bandicoot, and you're really pissed at it, and that's been cool. And I've been whooping people online in Mortal Kombat, so that's been fun. But yeah, I'm trying to distract myself from everything because everything sucks. But no, I mean, it's all been good. I've been just trying to, comb through these games while I'm staying home for the next year because my office is closed until 2021. So yeah, that's cool.
Did you watch the NGPX,
The who now?
the New Game Plus Expo?
No, I heard about it though. Did anything interesting happen there?
It's got to be the absolute worst gaming
Yikes.
online thing. I mean, if you like if you like anime a lot, I mean, and you gotta like it a lot, and if you like anime about maid cafes and
Ooh.
dating half human, half anime people, then if you like if you like the softest of porn, then it was fine. If you like anything else that might come out of Japan games, it was pretty trash. I mean, they showed Guilty Gear.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
That's
Man,
about all I
these
really
lights
heard about.
make me super red. I changed this camera.
Yeah, dude. No. I mean, I heard about that. There are a couple things I heard got revealed. There's only like 2 of them I care about. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of sad. I kind of miss E3 when it was like, oh, here's everything at once. All right, we'll see you in about 6 months when it comes out. But I mean, I saw something interesting. Apparently, Phil Spencer was like, "Oh, we're not worried after seeing the PlayStation presentation." But I thought that was kind of funny because people were like, "Ooh," but I was like, "What else is he supposed to say?" I don't know. Like, he's like been working for Microsoft for like 20 years. I don't know. Like, of course, he's gonna say
I
that
mean, um,
I agree.
I mean, yeah. What else is he supposed to say? But also, it clearly, to me, it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, I think PlayStation had the better show, especially. I mean, Xbox did the third party thing, and it just felt like watching Saturday Night Live coronavirus edition.
Oh, jeez.
It's just people at home. Well, I mean, it is. It's
No, I
like,
mean you're not wrong. No, you're not
it's
wrong.
not really well put together. It's just people
Yeah.
at home, and then they
Because
talk
SNL
about
at home
the
is
game.
not very good.
They talk a lot about the game. The PlayStation thing was what you want from you want games. You want short, quick introductions or descriptions, and you want more looks at the games. You just want to see what you're going to be able to play. I mean, that's what gets people excited.
Yeah,
It's not and Xbox had too much talking, didn't have enough Halo, didn't have enough Gears, didn't have enough of the first party stuff. So
nobody's really been saying anything about Microsoft. I mean, people have been talking about that fucking Spider-Man game super, like, a shit ton. That was just one thing from that presentation. So I don't know. People still talk about Microsoft, obviously. I think at this point, I think I actually might want to get both consoles, but I don't know. I might need to see a few more games from Xbox.
I mean, I don't know. I think definitely Sony has a better public eye right now.
Oh, for
better,
sure.
You know.
Yeah.
It's just a better presentation. But what else is Phil Spencer going to say?
He's Phil Spencer.
Especially since, you know, they also sold Mixer this week. And
shit, yeah.
I don't know what's up with that because that was,
yeah,
I mean, I know
weird
it's still
stuff.
Microsoft, but they've sold it off. So,
yeah,
you know, all the big streamers they signed are gone. And
all that cash.
Yeah.
All that cash. They paid those guys millions of dollars to sign on with that shit. And it's like
they had to pay him more to sell to Facebook. I think they got $40 million between the two of them.
Yeah, that's what I heard too, something like that, which is nuts because now they're gonna go back to Twitch, where they were like less than a year ago, if even that. Like that's fucking wild, dude. I don't know. I thought that was a weird move, especially because will the Facebook? Does anybody stream on Facebook right now? Is that like a thing?
Yeah, there are people who make their money streaming off of Facebook with their games, and I mean, it's just it's not Twitch, but just you have tons of people there doing it. You know,
right.
Just not as popular for whatever reason, but they're doing it.
Okay, well, that's weird. That's one of the things. I mean, you might as well just jump into it. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, like I thought, I don't know. I feel like Mixer was a good idea because people were paying to go watch Ninja on fucking what's gonna call it on Mixer, and people would have used Mixer before. They would have never touched Mixer if it wasn't for people like, you know, they've been getting big names and the people actually use Mixer. So it's kind of weird that they would like. I wonder, like, do you think it was losing money? Like I thought it was kind of successful from, you know, having some of the biggest streamers that people will actually pay to watch.
Well, it's one of those things where, so when you do businesses, there are two ways you enter industries, especially industries that don't have that many competitors in them, right? You either enter it because you have something to offer that other people don't, or you enter it because there's so much space in the industry that just having another competitor in there, which is you, is just guaranteed more money anyway. I mean, it doesn't matter if you do as well as the other guy. You're gonna do well. But like with the streaming thing, it's the same with YouTube, really. They're very different because even if you do offer other things, Twitch or YouTube, they just update. They can offer the same thing, right? And it's free. It's free to use. It's free to watch. You know, the money doesn't come the same way it comes in other businesses. So you can't just have something the other guys don't. Right? Because there's nothing you can have the other guys don't that they can't also get. I mean, these are billion-dollar companies. And then you think, okay, well, maybe I'm just filling a space to pick up, you know, trickle down Reaganomics business style. Right. But then that doesn't work either because the people who are interested in that industry, so the streamers, the people watching, right, they've already got fans, they've already got subscribers or people they've subscribed to on a platform. So if people move over, even if they do it on both, you're not really, I mean, that's not beneficial. So, just that industry, it's maybe not really that lucrative. And I guess they thought, you know, Facebook's already got, like, Twitch is a platform. That's what it's for. Facebook is similar to YouTube, where it's there for one thing, but they can do this other thing. Right. And so they sold it to Facebook. Facebook doesn't really lose anything by having the streaming thing. Like, if Mixer doesn't stream, there is no Mixer. Facebook doesn't stream, there's still Facebook, you know?
Yeah. It's easier when it is just like a part of your business, not the entire thing. Yeah. Unless you're Twitch, because Twitch is Twitch, so.
But Twitch was first.
Twitch was first, yeah. Twitch was first, so that's why they get to, sustain that model. And they do it well, too.
That's why Amazon bought Twitch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of doing their own thing.
Yeah, because it's easier to just, why do your own thing when you can just buy the other guy? that's kind of how it works. Or, just literally acquire somebody else. That's what Facebook did. That's what, that's what Amazon did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't believe you when you say you're beating people in Mortal Kombat, so we can skip that.
Hey, listen. Okay, no, I have been playing a lot more. I'll wake up some mornings before I get to work because I wake up dumb early because I can't sleep. I'll play some matches, and I've been practicing with the new characters more often. Shiva's really, really good. Shiva's awesome. I really like playing Shiva. I got started to get back into Katana, but some of her combos are so static, I can't use her. You can't even cancel half of her combos, and it's super annoying. But no, I've been doing better. I'm not as good as I used to be, only because I'm so rusty, and I need to learn how to use more than 3 characters. But I'm getting better at Sindel, and I'm getting better at Shang Tsung again, because he used to be really good with Shang Tsung. But no, game is great. I've been playing all the towers as they come up and stuff. But no, I've been playing a lot more Kombat. But more so, I've been playing a lot of Last of Us, both of them. Now it's mainly the second one, but I was playing both of them at the same time at one point. But yeah, no, we could talk about that game later because people have been review bombing it. So
you can't. You're not allowed to play against me until you beat my protege. I mean, we've only had one lesson, but
who's your protege?
He's tall, so I'll call him Dr. J. Until you beat Dr. J.
Who's Dr. J? Where is he? I want to beat him.
And I get to play. You won't beat him. He's in one lesson. In one lesson.
Who does he use?
He's leveled up 10 times. Who does he use? Who doesn't he use?
Doesn't he use? Oh, okay. Well, I want him to use.
I showed him. You know what? I showed him how to use. I showed him how to use Jax.
Oh Jesus! I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't like that. I'm good.
Yeah, Jax. You can't beat. Vico can't beat Jax.
I can beat Jax. It's not that bad.
Can't beat Jax. If I pick Jax, you know what? Every time I get really tired and I'm like, you know what? I should go to sleep. And I'm playing against you, I say, all right, I'll pick Jax, and he'll quit and say he wants to go.
It's not true because I'll just pick Sub-Zero, and then you'll talk about how his combos aren't working. So I disagree completely.
See, you talk all this stuff, but then every time I ask you to record us playing, you always got some excuse. You win maybe 20% of the time.
I didn't say. Hey, when did I ever say I wasn't gonna record? I can record as win.
And that's when I got one of my hands on one of my nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. Listen, you can talk about trash, but listen, I can still throw hands. I'm a little better than I was 3 or 4 weeks ago when we played. But
oh god, your 3 or 4 weeks ago is nothing compared to my a year ago when the game came out.
Whatever. Okay, you can talk all that trash. That's not true because I was beating when the game came out. You can't lie about that.
Still, before that, you've got to beat my protege in a first to 10. Okay. You got to make rules.
Listen, I already learned that Noob is the one that I do the best against you with. Besides, I know you think it's Scorpion. I disagree. I do best with you with Sub-Zero and Noob. So if I pick Noob or if I just learn another character, you're screwed.
The only reason you ever do slightly okay with Sub-Zero is because it's a mirror match. I use Sub-Zero all the time. I hate mirror match.
No, it's not a mirror match. It's not always a mirror match. You be picking like Raiden and shit too. What are you talking about? I don't even know Raiden's buttons. I picked Raiden to make that's what you said last time I played you when you were playing Raiden. You said, man, I forgot how to use Raiden.
Yeah, so what are you talking about?
Okay, anyway.
My 3 best characters, my 3rd best character can wipe the floor with anyone you've got.
See, listen, I could easily say the same thing. My 3rd best character is Scorpion, though. So, and
he cannot beat my Sub-Zero.
Your Sub-Zero, maybe not, because Sub-Zero is after years of you complaining about him not being good enough since Mortal Kombat, I think 9, and 10, you didn't like him. He's good enough in this one. I hope you're happy. I hope you're
Sub-Zero.
happy. The
Okay,
chaos he has reaped.
You can't beat my Jax. You can't beat my Sub-Zero. Once I remember my Raiden, you won't be able to touch my Raiden. Mm-hmm. You can't beat my Sonya. My Sonya smokes you out. My Johnny Cage.
Your Johnny Cage is easy. He's super easy. He's hilarious. Easy.
You can't even touch my Johnny Cage.
Yeah, I can. He's not that hard. You can try to whip out 30 hit combos, and then he ain't got no mix-ups.
With Johnny Cage, and I still beat you.
All he does is highs and low. He does highs and mids. He doesn't even really have that many lows. He didn't have that many mix-ups. You fooled him. Liu Kang, I'll take that one. All right. Liu Kang does some bullshit.
People, you don't want to hear this, but here's the thing. Every time we're set to record, we don't, because somebody doesn't want to show the farce that is their skill.
Hey, you can believe whoever you want. I just think that's slander, and I'll see you in court.
Sound like a trumper right now.
That's slander, and I will see you in court with the $1 million loan from the white father I don't have.
Yeah, you're a trumper.
Yeah. But I'll talk about Lost Legacy a little bit later, but I really liked it. I think I like it more than, if I had to rank the Uncharted games, I'd say 4, 2, 1, Lost Legacy. No, 4, 2, Lost Legacy, 1, 3. If I had to rank my favorite ones and like how good they are. 3 was great. It was just, I don't know. I didn't find it as intriguing as 2 or 4, but no, Lost Legacy is super good. It's a really compact game. You can finish it in like 2 or 3 days if you just sit down and play it for a few hours. I'm going to replay it so I can get all the trophies. It's pretty easy to get all the trophies.
So Hillary Clinton loses again, huh?
Huh?
Hillary Clinton is in 3.
Is in what?
English. Uncharted 3. It's Hillary Clinton.
Oh, yeah. No. For sure. No.
Hillary Clinton is also in, what's that platinum game where you slide on your knees and shoot stuff?
Vanquish.
Hillary Clinton's in there too, right?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. I like that game a lot. I've actually been thinking about rebuying it.
Do you have any games with Barack in it yet?
Not exactly.
Barack's gotta be. He's gotta be. Obama's gotta be in something.
But it's like a Japanese game, and he's a monkey for some reason or something.
He's gotta be in something. I know Trump's probably in at least 2 games.
Trump's in a shit ton of games, probably. I mean, did you ever play Metal Gear Revengeance?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great game. Yeah, that last boss is still one of the worst things I've ever had to do in my entire life. But no, Lost Legacy's good. I really recommend it. It's only like $30, I think, but it always goes on sale, so pick it up. Like I said, I think it was probably one of my favorite Uncharted games. It used all of the usual Uncharted stuff really well, all the treasure hunting stuff, all the big set pieces and weird gunfights and shit. But it's a lot shorter because I felt like, oh my god, Uncharted 4 is long. It's good, but it's really long. And sometimes you just need a game you can beat in a couple days. And it's only like 9 chapters. The longest chapter is an open world area, which, like I said, with Uncharted 4 too, is clearly something that they tested out and they used again in Last of Us 2. But really enjoyed that. I recommend that game a lot. It is not better than Last of Us 2 though, which really like that game.
It's time for the news. Today in the news we have 4 topics. 4 topics in the news today, and we're not talking about all the rape and harassment and molestation.
Yeah, we'll say that for another time, only because I want to do the proper research on it. And I could summarize it: a bunch of dudes in the gaming industry. It's like the gaming industry Me Too happening right now. Bunch of dudes got outed as sexual assaulters.
This happens like every 6 months.
Oh yeah,
for video games and YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Round 1, fight. Yeah, it happens every few months. But a bunch of guys, including the creative director for the Assassin's Creed. Who Who else? It was a couple other guys. It was a couple of big names.
Angry Joe.
Yeah.
What's Syndicate?
Mm-hmm.
Krabby. I think he's a Smash guy, a YouTube.
Yeah,
guy.
Krabby.
Lots of people.
Yeah, a lot of people got they got outed this week as creeps. But catch up. You can catch up on that stuff on your own. We will talk about it. I just want to make sure we actually get all the info together. In a way where we can kind of make sense of it rather than just being like, hey, these guys did some shit and then moving on. But yeah, no, go check that out.
Chris D'Elia. How do you say the guy's name? Chris
D'Elia?
D'Elia?
Yeah, no, dude. I think that's so fucking fun. It's not funny, but it's just like a coincidence because I've seen him in 2 different shows where he played a fucking pedophile and now he's getting outed as like messaging girls like under 18, which is like in You season 2, that's exactly what he was like come on.
Yeah, it is pretty it's kind of funny.
Oh, and then Workaholics, he was also a pedophile in that, which Workaholics is great. Workaholics is awesome. But yeah, no, I think he was sending us messages, or he was just, he also has like some really creepy tweets from back in the day that people dug up, like.
Well, I mean, that part of it, like you could do that with anyone for anything.
Yeah, of course. Anybody who had Twitter before 2015, oh, good luck.
Well, it's like you could, like the guy who got fired from MSNBC or whatever for his something joke, however many years. You could do that with anybody.
Yeah.
Anyway, we gotta do the first one.
Oh yeah, cool. So, Cyberpunk 2077. It got delayed. So it got delayed to November, but the reason it got delayed to November, oh my gosh, there's sound. The only reason it got delayed to November is because they are, making the next gen version. So the next gen version will be out at the same time as the, versions for Xbox One and PS4 and all that.
So
stuff.
what does this mean? This means doesn't this mean the whole thing that Xbox is winking off about buying Cyberpunk and then getting it free upgraded when you get your Xbox One? Isn't that all moot now because the game will be out with, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's completely moot. Yeah.
Isn't it total bullshit because you won't be able to even own the game until the next gen consoles come out?
Yep, it's total garbage. It's stupid, and also
coming out before then.
Nothing.
What else do they have? Not a goddamn thing. So now you know what's happening.
Gears Tactics come out.
Sony's gonna push the Ghost of Tsushima. They're gonna push The Last of Us 2 and all these things that you're gonna get the next version of when you buy the thing. Also,
I cannot wait to play Last of Us 2 on the PS5.
This just popped in my head because if what Biko tells me is true, I don't know if it's true. You mentioned last week, but this is a message to a friend of the show, Dan. You should just buy Last of Us 2 now, and you'll be able to play it on the PlayStation 5 because it was an upgrade, right?
Yeah.
Just get the upgraded version. You buy it now, play it whenever you want, or you actually better just waiting because it'll be cheaper back then.
Yeah, it'll probably be cheaper. You can probably get it around Black Friday or something. Buy it right before you get your PS5. I mean,
do they have DLC for Last of Us 2, like they did for the first one?
They do.
I don't know. I'm asking.
No. I don't think they do yet. They are making a multiplayer mode though that they haven't released yet. They just said they're still working on it.
I know we're not on that yet, but out of all of Uncharted's multiplayer modes, the Last of Us 1 is the best.
You never played 4?
Uncharted I haven't played 4. Who gives a shit?
Then you need to play 4. Is hands down like a great multiplayer game. It takes all that stuff from the other one. But I will say I know what you mean by Last of Us because I played the Last of Us multiplayer when I got the remastered version. So good. It's very good. It's really fun. Super fun.
Really good.
Yeah. It's just like the regular game except it's all combat basically.
Yeah, it's like the regular game except you're killing other real people.
Yeah, you're choking people out and like shivving them and shit. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's really cool.
And making stuff on the fly. It's pretty fun. Yeah. Anyway, this delay. People are upset because it was delayed and all that stuff.
I don't give a shit. I'm glad to have it on the next gen console.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see how much it leaked? People are pretty sure that it's correct too. Did you see how much the PS5 might cost? Both versions.
Yeah, I heard about that. I mean, it is. I wouldn't say it's a leak because it came from Amazon, right, or some
Yeah, it
place
came from like a shop, like a store or something.
that.
Store listing.
To me, it doesn't mean any. Like, it really doesn't, because when Sony or Xbox decide a price, if they haven't already, and they decide they want that price out, right?
Mm-hmm.
They will tell Amazon and whoever when they want that done, because we've seen this already. How many?
Oh yeah,
And
tons of times. Yeah.
whatever price Amazon or whoever or GameStop or whoever puts, I'm willing to bet that's just what they estimate it to be. Like they
Yeah.
put a price on something, because I mean, so someone pre-orders it for that early before it's supposed to happen. They just change the price. Say,
Yeah.
hey, flop down another 100 or
Yeah.
whatever. So,
Oh, for sure.
what were the prices? It was
400 for the digital version, 500 for the disc version.
yeah. I don't see honestly.
I think that makes sense.
After watching the Digital Foundry video about, I don't think there's going to be $100 difference between the two.
I think it would be like maybe like a $80 or like $50 difference or something like that.
I think it might be a $50 difference, because I mean, Digital Foundry breaks it down really well. The price of the drive,
Okay.
how they make the money. I don't. I mean, $100 difference, I just feel, is like a gift.
Yeah, that's almost like more for like storage type shit. Like that's not like a disk drive thing.
Even storage is cheap.
No, that's true. Yeah, I need to
Storage
buy
is
another hard drive.
cheap.
Yeah.
That's how Apple makes their money on the different tiers of phone. How much more money does it cost Apple to have a 50 gig phone versus 256 gig phone?
Oh, for them, like 5 cents.
Not even. It's not even that. It's not even that to do it. It's just, but what does it cost you? It's like another $150.
Yeah, they make bank off of that shit. No, that's a good point. It's a good point. For sure.
So
Yeah, I think that it's really funny that Xbox has been pushing this whole, you'll get it first on our console, because a lot of games are already like that, and PlayStation's kind of already been like, yeah, no, it's backwards compatible and it'll play like the regular version of the game. And CD Projekt Red, who makes Cyberpunk 2077 and The Witcher and all that stuff, they already said that the game, it's for PS4, like PS4, you can get the PS4 version and it'll be the PS5 version. Like everybody will get the same version for free. So it's not like a Xbox exclusive thing. It's just so funny because I feel like Xbox is pushing it more than PlayStation, because PlayStation likes to do this thing where they're like, oh, obviously you can do that. Like they don't. It's almost like they're like, yeah, we already said it's backwards compatible.
I think PlayStation would have pushed it because here's the thing. It's really important that Xbox came out first, because they come out first, they get the message out first, and they push the whole, of course, graphics, and then the smart delivery and all that stuff. And I think Sony is just like, okay, well, that's that. How about we push, like they've been doing for the past generation, game. We've got games. We got lots of games that you can play. There's game here. There's game here. There's game here. Also, I was watching Jim Sterling talk about. I love Jim, but he's been on a real kick of idiocy these days.
Yeah, I started watching his videos. I started watching his videos more after we talked about.
I would say go back like 4 years ago and before now, because he's also very political. So I think he lets a lot of his ideology, as far like world ideology, cloud his video game opinions. I mean, I think that's fine. I mean, your opinions are going to be based off of what you believe. Yeah, but like, I think he says some really dumb things. Like,
I feel he's
really against companies, right? So in this PlayStation video, he talks about how, PlayStation is talking about how the games are going to look amazing. And he points out how so many of the games that they showed on the thing are kind of cartoony or artistic and not realistic. But in the same breath, he says it's not that important for video games to be that realistic or like real life depictions.
Then what was the point of making that
What's
point?
more important is the gameplay. So like you criticize them for saying that they have a strong console with great graphics because gameplay is more important, but then when they show you games that aren't emphasizing, you know, skin pores in someone's dick,
Yeah.
then it's like it just doesn't make sense. He does a lot of that these days. I mean, I get it. I still like him, but it's
yeah, no, that seems contradictory. I've met people like that though
He's
who tell
very
me that about video games. That's weird. I mean, I'm excited for Cyberpunk. I'm not that excited for it. I have other games I'm more excited for. One of them I'm playing right now, so you know.
Here's the thing. Okay, the thing with CD Projekt Red, I think for me, it's there are a few things. Number one, there are games that they make like Witcher, right? Mm-hmm. What else do they make?
They make Witcher, and let me see. Let me Google CD Projekt Red. CD Projekt Red, because I only really know them for The Witcher, so I'd be lying if I was like, yeah, no, they make this and they make this. Baldur's Gate. That's what they made. They made Baldur's Gate. I liked Baldur's Gate.
Okay, I like Baldur's Gate. I'm a Baldur's Gater.
Yeah, I used to play the shit out of Baldur's Gate.
Okay, so CD Projekt Red. I like Baldur's Gate, but I haven't played Baldur's Gate in maybe 15 to 20 years, something like that. Long time. Mm-hmm. The Witcher, while I think is like what the little bit I played is enjoyable and interesting, it just doesn't grab me, and it's probably more about the setting. It's like I'm not a big fan of medieval dragons and mad. Like I like some of those.
Skyrim.
I like Skyrim, but not for those set. Like it's
you like it for the gameplay and stuff, right?
Well, yeah, I like it for the gameplay and stuff, but it's not just because the thing is with medieval stuff, you can do the setting in lots of different ways, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it comes down to monsters and dragons and guys on horses with swords and queens and
that's
stuff.
Not your shit, yeah.
And it's like to draw me in, you have to have. I'm not like against it, but it's not. I'm never gonna say like, "Ooh, I really want to touch that." It's like that doesn't pull me in at all. So like, mm-hmm. I need a really good story or some kind of mystery or world building is important. And Witcher has a lot of that, I'm sure, but there's so much of it that you miss from not playing 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. And I tried to play 2, and it was the worst thing I ever put my hands on. I remember that's one of the only games that 30 minutes in, I said, this is trash. I will play and finish almost every game there is. I am not. I am a game apologist. I will play games and find the good in them. And
some of my favorite games are bad.
And enjoy them. And when I play a game, I try to think, what are they trying to do? And do they do that well enough or unique enough? When I played The Witcher 2, I was like, fuck this.
That's a bold hill you're standing on. That's fucking hilarious.
I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it is not a game that at all is welcoming.
I have heard that the combat in The Witcher 2 and 1 compared to 3 is almost like a world of difference. Like I heard that there are people who prefer The Witcher 3 over all of them, and they don't really give a shit to go back to the other ones because the combat is so bad. People have made mods for the first 2 to make the combat more like 3 because the combat's so bad.
Well, so that's number one. That the big game that they're most popular for, I'm not really a fan of. It doesn't draw. I'm not drawn into them. Mm-hmm. Number 2, anytime I'm on like, not just grandpa and grandma's internet, but I'm talking about like the internet.
Yikes.
You know, when you
the
go
Nazi
on
internet.
the Reddits and when you start getting in everything,
the insulternet, yeah.
Every single right wing fucking 16-year-old kid or 23-year-old incel fucking dude praises this company because of how not left they are, which I don't even see.
I don't see it at all. I've never seen
I don't even
before.
see what they're talking about. It's just that what are they, Swedish or something?
Yeah, they're talking because they're white.
Well, I mean, that's usually what their arguments boil down to, is that they don't have all these blacks and Asians to make their white Western philosophies.
Which is so funny because it's like, what the fuck are you even talking about at that point?
It's just got to be the worst kind of advertisement, because these people love this company, and then you don't even have to provoke it. It just pops up in Reddit. It just pops up on Twitter, where some dudes gets upset because, I don't know. I remember, what's the game that's not that great, but it's still around? Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
What was the last Watch Dogs?
There was Watch Dogs 2, which a lot of people actually said was a lot better than the
Watch
first
Dogs
one.
2. It's got a black dude in it, right?
Yeah.
And it's got and I remember some guy was just sharing some art. I don't know if he made it or it's from the game or something. And some dudes fucking Ubisoft is gone all SJW, adding the black dude. That's why we can only support your
stupid
Project
shit.
Reds and that's nothing on the faults of.
No, that's not their fault.
But that is I'd say out of all the times I hear talk about CD Projekt Red, I don't know, 40 to 50%. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, that's the first time I've ever heard that. I did not know that. That's fucking wild.
I hear that all the time. I'm always on the internet. I'm constantly in Reddit. I love being in Reddit. I'm always in the worst parts of Twitter, and
oh god,
I used to
how
be.
How do you live? I cannot do that. Those people are nuts.
Same reason we should keep Confederate statues. You got to know that they hate you.
Oh, we can keep them. You can keep them. Just put it in the museum.
Yeah, they need to make a racist museum.
Yeah.
They need to make 20 racist museums. It should just be called the Ain't That Racist Museum. And there should be
the Damn That's Fucked Up Museum.
I would say throughout the country there should be 20 of them. In the South is probably have most of them.
I probably have 19 of them.
and then you walk in and they have all those statues and different things to read about. And because I in all fairness, I do think we probably should have some racist museums, because it just blew my mind how many. I mean, the Juneteenth thing, right? It's just everybody all of a sudden is a fan of Juneteenth.
I met so many people who were like, "What's Juneteenth?" Like they not met, but I saw many people online who were like, "What's this made up holiday Juneteenth?" And I was like,
"Well, to be in
I don't celebrate Juneteenth. I don't know.
I don't either.
I've never celebrated that.
Never met a person not from Texas who isn't black, who. Even if you're black, the only people who I know Juneteenth are black people in Texas. That's it.
Yeah, that's it, really.
I've never known other people to ever talk about it or mention it or care about it. And even here, in Joppy, they have a thing and all that stuff. But it's very Texas specific day. And to me, it's not the day to celebrate. It's just remember when they did that shit?
Hey, remember when they actually did something? You remember that shit?
Yeah, right. It's remember when they did that thing? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts, bro.
That's what the day is.
You might barbecue something, maybe, if you remember.
And then
just for an excuse.
But I mean, it's good. People are celebrating, I think it's
trendy to be woke right now. That's why it's cool to care about black people right now.
Yeah, but I'm just more interested in people understanding. The celebration is important. It's more important that you understand the history. I think it's important.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree with the racist museum thing. We should definitely have one of those. I mean, me and Mom went to the Museum of African American History a few years ago.
Not the same thing, though.
Like, no. I know it's not the same thing, but those are the kinds of things people need to see so you understand that shit. But no, the racism museum, that shit needs to go in. I want every slur in that bitch. I want every hate crime documented.
Aside from the racist museum, I mean, it's important that people know things that happen in history. It like Emancipation Proclamation. When you learn about that, you're like, that's when they freed the slaves.
That's when they freed the slaves. No, it wasn't.
If you live in Texas, you know that it didn't mean anything. I think everybody should know that. I think everyone should know it didn't mean much of anything till 2 years afterwards.
No,
right?
I told my neighbors that the other day, and they thought I was making the shit up. Like, I was like, no, they didn't do anything. They just left. A lot of people didn't fucking know they freed anybody. And then they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, y'all are like 50 years old.
Same with like the Tulsa massacre, right? Like
people learn that shit from Watchmen.
Yeah, I guess. But like,
what the fuck?
Well, no, it's like it's not in the history books.
Yeah, it's not in history books. No, like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not their fault they learned it from Watchmen. It's the fact that like people don't know. They really have no clue until they watch something.
No, I wouldn't say that either. It is their fault. I mean, we live in a day of the internet where people will go and
for sure.
fucking say today is brownie day and then spend 3 hours looking at the history of brownies so they can create a Twitter thing. You know, like there's no reason not to know so many things about your own country. But I think that it's good those things are being talked about. But damn, CD Projekt Red, like in my eyes, it's just the only people talking about him.
That's good to know. I did not know that was a thing. I learned something today.
It's nothing good to know. It's just you'll notice it if you're out there enough.
Jesus Christ. I mean, last time I saw is that they got flack for doing the whole no gender thing in this game, which I thought was funny. But
yeah, that's another thing they got heat over. I don't know. I'm excited for the game because I want a big RPG. I want to play something that's going to be new and interesting. I hear good things about them. I'm not a big fan of The Witcher, but that's probably not because it's not a good game. It's probably because the things in it don't appeal to me.
Yeah, it's not your vibe. And I mean, you know, you could. I mean, you like this looks more like a Deus Ex type thing anyway. So, and that game was fucking raw. That whole series.
And I like Deus Ex.
Yeah, Deus Ex is awesome. So, yeah, no, I'm gonna give it a shot when it comes out. It may not be like a release day thing for me, but I'll definitely want to play it at some point. If it goes on sale as much as The Witcher 3 did, I'll definitely play it at some point. So, yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, it depends on how much money they make, but I'm sure they'll make.
Oh, they've been hyping this game up for like years.
Round 2. Fight.
All right. So do you want to keep talking about the mixer thing? You want to talk about
No, I mean the mixer thing's done. That's it. I mean, it's not really. I mean, it's just it's as many YouTube videos as there are about it. It's not really that much to talk about. They sold that shit off. It didn't work, and it's done.
Yeah, no, true. All right. Well, anyway, this has been outdated, but this has been outdated a little bit. But Crash Bandicoot 4 got leaked by a Taiwanese rating board, but they already announced the game as of Monday. Showed some gameplay, but Crash Bandicoot. It's kind of funny. They're basically ignoring all of the games that happened since Crash Bandicoot 3 because this one's just called 4. Yeah, and it looks like and I know this is like a loaded thing to say, but like I've been playing the original games, the remastered version, and yeah, this looks more like those games than a lot of those other games in between this one and, you know, all the old ones on PS2 and PS3 and stuff. So yeah, no, it looks good. It looks fun. I'm not surprised they're doing this. But I am surprised I'm kind of surprised it's on Xbox, even though I know Crash Bandicoot Remastered was on Xbox, but I just thought that maybe they would go exclusive to PlayStation. But no, I guess not.
No, I mean, the only reason they were exclusive to PlayStation before is because...
Oh, yeah, they were Naughty Dog. Right?
It used to be Naughty Dog.
Yeah, it used to be Naughty Dog, yeah.
Anyway, Yeah, I mean, I knew this was going to happen after the remake put out and it was successful. You knew a Crash. I didn't think it'd be Crash 4, but you knew a Crash would come out. And I'm happy for it. I mean, they don't make these games anymore. The Sly Coopers, the Crashes, the
Mm-hmm.
like today every game is made for like, and you can just see it happening. Um they're made, like I mentioned last week, they're made to be beaten. They're not difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen? All right, I'll continue this Crash thing later. Have you seen the GameSpot guy talking about SpongeBob, the SpongeBob game?
Oh no! What did he say?
You should look for it.
Oh God!
It's probably on Twitter too. So the SpongeBob game got remastered. It's PlayStation 2. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom got remastered and re-released this week.
Is he just bad at video games?
There's a GameSpot reviewer, and on one part of his review, he talks about how difficult the game can be because I think this is without a doubt, older games are more difficult than games these days because more people play games and they have to be more accessible.
Oh, for sure.
They don't have to be, but they are, right? So he complains that when SpongeBob shoots bubbles out of his, he makes bubbles. But when he does it, he runs. And there's a platform that there's a little button that you step on. When you step on this button, a cage opens. Here it is. This is a part. This part. When you step on the button, the cage opens, and then when you're supposed to shoot the bubble in the cage and get an item, or catch a butterfly, right? SpongeBob likes to catch butterflies. Except the reviewer complained. Can you play the sound?
Oh yeah, I can.
The reviewer complains that he can't catch the bubble. When all he would have to do is step behind the button, push the bubble button. SpongeBob will automatically walk forward, push the button on the ground, and then the bubble will go into the cage. You have to see it to understand what's going on.
No, I just saw it. And it made sense, and I'm just kind of disappointed because it's like I could tell that that's how you do it just from watching it.
And like games these days are like even Dark Souls to me,
it's not that hard.
Dark Souls is an average level of difficulty game.
Dude, no, okay. I've been watching streamer compilations of people raging while playing Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, all of those. And it pains me to watch them get through parts that I didn't even think were a problem on Dark Souls or on Bloodborne. It is like disgusting because it's like they're just not good at the game. Like it's like they're like, this game is so stupid. It's not fair. But it's like they're not swinging the right direction. Their gear is trash. They're not even running in the right direction. Like it's just, you're right. No, I agree. I feel like people they're not good at games at all. Like
it's not. I mean, it's not that people just aren't. I mean, yeah, people aren't good at games, but also games have gotten way easier. I mean, they're way easier. So
Crash Bandicoot is hard, dude.
Yeah, but Crash Bandicoot is average difficulty, but to a lot of people, it's hard. I
will admit part of the difficulty is it is very precise jumping. The jumping is dumb precise. But that's part of the difficulty that makes it fun.
It should be precise.
Yeah.
Anyway, another reason why, because I was giving reason why they don't make these types of games anymore. Number 2, games these days, which I think is why you see negative scores for so many things now with games that aren't bad. Games these days need to be enjoyable, not just to play or experience, but to watch. So much of the industry is on streaming and YouTube now that, I mean, we're going to talk about Last of Us review bombs, but a lot of those bombs are also because people plan to just watch these games and they're not fun. They're fun to play. They're not fun to watch.
Oh yeah, Last of Us is a ton of fun to play. It's super fun to play. I don't know how you can just watch that. That sounds boring.
I mean, if you were to just watch the cutscenes and a quick thing, but like if somebody's gonna play these games, it's not fun to watch someone play these things.
Yeah.
right? Like when you go to your friend's house, it's fun to watch someone play Bloodborne because there's this nonstop action paced thing.
Right.
It's fun to watch someone play something that you can pass a controller and there's all this action. But when you have something that is not meant to be thump 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 or just hacking away and slash, it's kind of boring to watch people play stuff. And it's also
of course, yeah, no, I fully agree.
I mean, it's true. It's
because I mean,
fighting games don't have the audience on Twitch that something like Dota or whatever does, right? Like,
oh, for sure, yeah.
They're both competitive. They're both really deep and in depth, but there's just something more interesting about watching a map and all these things happening versus two guys punching each other in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. Some games are more interesting to watch, especially when it's not like a, like I'm watching. Me and Haley actually, we played through the first Last of Us with a single game file. Now she's playing her own game. I'm playing my own game, so we'll get a little ahead of each other each time. So like, it's not that bad rewatching that, but I'm not watching it for, to experience the game. I'm watching her because I'm like, oh, well, let me see how she does in this section. Because The Last of Us 2, even though I don't think people know a lot, there's a lot of variation in the gameplay at some points. The game switches stuff up depending on what you do, which is weird. I've noticed like differences in our playthroughs. But yeah, I mean, no, I agree. I feel like watching story-driven games, there's no variation to it. I watch so many people play Dark Souls a week. I watch YouTube videos of that shit every week. But I will never watch gameplay of somebody playing Uncharted 4 because why would I do that when I can just turn the shit on?
Well, it's not just the story driven. It's also like progressing.
Right.
Like there are parts of games that are fun, but they're not that exciting. For example, I have a great time, and I'm sure everyone who plays Neo 2 can really get like nipple deep into making your gear.
Yeah.
And getting everything how you want. And that is entertaining. Not
fun to watch. Yeah, no.
Not to watch. No. I played Last of Us 1 with Mom and Kawanika around, and they were having a blast, right? But I had to make sure that I'm not scouring the entire house to pick up all the scissors and all the gun ammo and all, like, because that's not entertaining for them to watch.
That's really funny because
that's it. There's a difference.
Well,
right?
No, you're totally right. I have a different experience because Haley plays games, so she's like always like, no, go look over there, go find that. So no, but I totally get what you mean. Like for somebody who just wants to be entertained, that's not fun to watch somebody craft a bunch of shit or upgrade their guns or look in every dumb little cabinet while you're playing Last of Us because you're trying to find shit to make your weapon better.
Right, because that's the stuff where, like, those kind of things in games are going away. I mean, they're not going away gone because Neo had lots of views. I mean, it's not crazy views, but that's what people still do.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you can go watch a cowboy stream and he's sitting in the talking and doing the thing, but it's still not exciting. It's not the most exciting thing to do. So, I mean, we don't get games like Crash Bandicoot anymore.
Yeah.
Because those games that just really aren't tailored to be beaten easily, be fun and exciting to watch, and they're not super long either.
I mean, there are indie games that do that for sure, but there aren't any like mainstream titles now for definitely. Yeah, because I've seen a few different platformers like that streamed that. Yeah, no, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, I'm excited for Crash Bandicoot though. I mean, I like Crash Bandicoot. It's fun. It's play fun. It for a weekend or two, and then it's done. But they're fun games. I don't think there's any multiplayer. It looks a lot faster.
It looks faster. It does look more traditional than the last few. So
I don't know if that was just a trailer, but it looked a lot faster.
No, I mean I've been playing the Insane trilogy or whatever, And no, it's definitely faster. The original games, it's a lot of precision jumping. Like there is like some running stuff, but like it's a lot less of that and more like, hey, it's a floating platform. Try to catch it and then jump on this bird. So no.
What's the hardest game you've ever played?
Hardest game I ever played? I would say Ninja Gaiden 2. I fucking hate that game.
Ninja Gaiden 2 is pretty hard.
That game's fucking hard.
But that game is similar to me. To me, it's similar to like a Devil May Cry, where once you get a rhythm for what you're supposed to do, it gets a lot easier.
I would agree with you if it weren't for the bosses in that game. Like the mobs and like getting through levels, that is hard. Yeah, that's always hard. And getting to the secret stuff is hard. The bosses in that game are really what make that shit hard because some of the bosses in that game are
some of the bosses punishing. In the Gaiden 2 are stupid easy though.
No. The beginning ones, I never beat that game because the second to last boss is like 4 phases and I never beat it. It was the most frustrating thing. I almost broke a 360 controller because I was
Is
mad.
it that guy is it that samurai ghost guy?
No, I beat him. It's like you're in a big fucking lava pit or some shit, and then there's this gigantic dragon thing. I don't remember. It's been years. Yeah. It's multiple phases, and I hate it. I never beat it. That game, because I retried that fight, I don't even want to know how many times. That shit was hard. Like that was like I knew how to play the game at that point. I knew how to counter all the stuff. I wasn't like still learning anything, and that shit was hard. That fucking game. What about you?
Battletoads, the hardest game.
I never played it.
I had to have rented that game 30, 40, 50 times before I could beat it.
Isn't that one of those games they never play tested?
I don't know. Battletoads is definitely the hardest game I've ever played. Harder than any Dark Souls or Bloodborne, harder than any Ninja Gaiden, or what are some other hard games people talk about? It's hard for some people. Harder than that. Harder than...
I'm trying to think. I don't really know any other.
Super Meat Boy, harder than Super Meat Boy.
Cuphead, is that one of the ones people say?
I haven't played Cuphead.
Cuphead's good. It is hard though, but it's good. It's not that bad.
Even like a Super Meat Boy, the difficulty in Super Meat Boy, yes, it is very difficult and precise, but it's also how much there is to the game.
Yeah.
Because before Super Meat Boy was on Xbox, it was on Newgrounds, and the guy making that had tons of time and practice to make these kinds of levels. And
for sure.
Like, Super Meat Boy did it perfectly, and there are so many of them. That's what's different. It'd be different if the game only had like 50 levels.
Yeah, no, the game is pretty long. I enjoyed my time with that game from beginning to end, but no, I get what you mean. It's like, I don't know. That's my problem with a lot of games these days. I feel like a lot of games are long. I feel like most games are, I feel comfortable saying that. I feel like most games are longer than they need to be. I think the last two I beat were great lengths. I thought Uncharted was a great length. I actually thought Dark Souls was a pretty good length too for what it is. But no, I feel like most games are, it's not even an attention span thing. It's just like how long until your game gets stale to play? Like how long is your game still fun? Because I'm 10 hours in The Last of Us. I'm still learning things. There's still more shit. There's still more story. I have a reason to keep going, but I feel like most games don't give you that.
I really don't feel like that in a lot of, because I play games to beat them. I do, but I want to like suck it all in and hit all the corners and stuff. So it probably takes me longer to play a game because of the other things that I'm doing that I probably shouldn't do. Like I played Bloodborne for 900 something hours or something like that. Probably more. I have to look. It's just some ridiculous number of hours. Then the game is short. Bloodborne is a short game.
Yeah, I believe you. I mean, there's definitely, especially once you get good at it, you know how to get through it. I mean, that's what I like about the Dark Souls and Souls series is that, once you beat it and once you know all the paths you can take, especially 1 and 3 and Bloodborne, there's different ways to go about it. But no, I don't think it's every game. I think a lot of games do it well. I thought Last of Us 1 was a good length. I'm not sure about The Last of Us 2 yet, but like I said, the game is still developing, so it's kind of cool to see it play out. But
you are right. I think I don't think some games are too long, but I think your time is important with games. like I remember I was playing Tales of Xillia,
Oh
and
God.
there was a thunderstorm, and I think I lost 3 hours of play. And the way I play your RPGs is very precise. I do exactly what I want to do. And for whatever reason, I did save, but the save was gone, and I had my
Oof.
save. I was at the last boss, and
Oof.
my save was from 3 hours before, and I had done so many things to make sure my characters had the best weapons and all this stuff in those 3 hours because I could tell the final boss was coming up. That I stopped right there. I was it was the most debilitating, like 3 hours of my life wasted, not because I didn't have fun, but because it didn't have a payoff.
Right.
Those 3 hours didn't have payoff, and to go back and do all that stuff again is not something I
Yeah.
want to do. So I just stopped playing. I could have platinumed that game. I was doing so well in
No,
it.
the game was great, and I mean that's the crazy thing to me is that I feel like what it is that games should have replayability, and I feel like they jumped the gun for that. For damn, this game should take you 20 hours to beat, and it's like I don't feel like that's necessary. Like I feel like there's so many like Bloodborne and Dark Souls, right? Like yeah, you can beat
I
that game
mean,
once,
can
but
you
you
can
can't
you
do
give
most of
me
the shit in that game unless you play it multiple times.
can you give me an example of a too long game? Because I can't.
Red Dead Redemption 2, I would say that although I love Nier
But
Automata's
okay. Hold on.
but
Red Dead Redemption 2. What's too long?
the whole
The
fucking story.
story?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
How many hours is the story? It's like
I
it's
would
only like,
not fucking know. I'm like 50 hours in and the story's still going.
but about 50 hours is how much of those 50 hours is story and how much of those 50 hours.
Well, in between the story missions, you have to do all the side missions. And then when you do some
You
of
don't have
those,
to.
yes, you do. You do that. Yes, you have to.
No, you have
There
to
are
do a
times
few
in
side missions that open up story missions, or you
yeah,
have to
you
bring
have to do
certain
side
things.
missions that open up story missions. Okay, it's long because I don't know. I feel like when your gameplay loop, I feel like when it comes to video games, you give me the gameplay. Like for instance, I played Last of Us 1 recently, right? I thought they did a very good job at this, and also Uncharted Lost Legacy. I'm going to use those as examples. I'm also going to use Dark Souls, and I'm also going to use what's another game I played recently? Anyway, once you learn the gameplay loop, the game shouldn't last much longer. Like the game should last longer, but if you're not adding more things to the gameplay loop, it's gonna get fucking annoying. Dark Souls worked well because it kept adding things to the gameplay loop before and after each boss, like poison areas. There's this other area we gotta learn how to do all this other shit, and enemies react to things differently, and there's different treasure and shit. And I feel like when it comes to like stuff like Red Dead Redemption, it's like, all right, here's your gameplay loop. Either get used to it or speed through all the missions and not have any fun really because half the fun shit in the game is not
Well,
in the main missions.
I kind of feel like those games, those Rockstar games, don't have gameplay loops, and I think that's why they're so because like you can play those games just a story. You have to do some side missions to open things up. You do, but all the side stuff, I'd say 95% of it is all optional.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're there because the story part, it's kind of like do the story and like, I'm tired of doing the story. Now I'm going to go shoot stuff up and I'm going to do this and I can do this and I can do that. And I don't know. I mean, if you feel it's too long, you feel it's too long. I just think because people beat that game in the first day.
Oh, for sure. But I play games differently.
No,
See,
I know.
yeah, I don't play games like that. Like I like to take my time and like learn all the different shit and stuff like that. Like and like for instance, like I get it. Like not every game is straightforward like that. I feel like open world games are done a little better sometimes. Like I feel like the Grand Theft Autos weren't as bad with that. I felt like the story had like good arcs, so you could kind of tell where it was going. It wasn't like this gigantic like, all right, we'll let you like here's this gigantic plot that keeps on going, and you'll miss half the shit unless you do it before you do this last story mission. And I feel like that doesn't work with me because I like to do shit in the game, not just play the story. Because there are plenty of people who bought that game first day and they just did the story only, and then they may have started their playthrough and did all the other shit. But like, I feel like it's some games are too long in terms of their story, in terms of the main story, and then if you combine that with a lot of fucking side things, I feel like that's just over. It's just a lot of shit, and I'm not even gonna complain about having too much game to play, but I just feel like a lot of games are fucking long. Like, I feel like they should focus on what they want to get across. And if you want to make gameplay great along the way, that's great. But you either focus your game on the narrative or you shorten that bitch. I don't know how to feel. I don't know. I this is my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't agree. I mean, short is fine, but I think the things that make those games great. I mean, the stories are usually good, but they're not what makes them great.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we'd have
the
gun.
gameplay. No, it's for sure. It's for sure the environment and the gameplay. And I mean, that may just be a thing where I just didn't, get used to Red Dead Redemption 2 like I did 1. But no, for sure. For sure. No, for sure. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Now multiply from 10 backwards. 3 times 10 is 30. Going 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 4 is 12. And 3 times 3 is 9. And 3 times 2 is 6. And 3 times 1. What is it? 3! Yeah, that's a magic number.
Isn't it nice to have an intermission in the middle of the show?
Yeah, it's like a small break. Yeah, not that bad. Oh man. So is the Stadia dead yet?
I mean, it's not dead, but I think they know they started off wrong. Especially, this would have been the best time to have Stadias out, right? Everybody.
Oh, for sure. Everybody's at home. Yeah. So
they've dropped the price on the Premier Edition. It was at $129. It'll be $99.
Pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. It just depends. What do you need Stadia for?
Obviously, the new Marvel Avengers game.
Right. Aren't we supposed to get news about that?
We did. We got news about it today.
What did they say?
They showed some gameplay, and I'm about to just show it on the screen. It does seem to be like, about what people expected in terms of, a very cinematic beat 'em up kind of thing with the different superheroes. I thought it was really funny because I kept seeing people be like, ugh, I guess they didn't take our tips from last time and notice that we said the game, the design doesn't look good and they don't look like the Avengers from the movies. And I'm like, okay, shut up.
Yeah, but I don't get that needing them to look like the people from the. Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing about comic books is that you have a template for these characters and then you do whatever you want with.
That's
and their origins and like some characters. I mean, there are some things that define all characters, but not that they look like fucking Chris Hemsworth. Dumb.
No, yeah, I think it's silly. I mean, the game looks fun. It's not something I'm exactly like, rushing to still.
What is it?
So it looks like a co-op and single player kind of superhero beat 'em up, kind of along the lines of really, I mean, it does look like every hero has their own gameplay and stuff, but it seems to be like co-op, a lot of powers and open world stuff. Not really open world, but like missions that you do with other people who play as the other characters. But it looks fun. I think it looks fun. At least I think it looks like something that I would play, but it doesn't exactly look like something I would say is next gen. And it also doesn't look like something I think is, like a game changing.
But is this being played on Stadia? Yes.
Yeah. It was posted by Stadia. I do not think this is being played on Stadia. I would. It's going to be available on Stadia though. This is one of the things Stadia has been hyping up. They're like, we're going to have the Avengers game. So,
I'll have to actually watch it. Your stream looks like just pictures.
No, I'm sure it looks terrible. It's Thor smashing a bunch of shit. So, it looks good. It's just, I think the camera moves around too much. It's kind of fucking wild how much the camera's moving. It's actually like slanted the entire time, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, no, I just think it's funny that people keep shitting on this game before it comes out, even though, I mean, I think it looks good for a superhero game. I mean, don't.
That's how everyone is with everything. It's just everything's so jaded unless it's you love it. Like Cyberpunk, if it were coming out by someone else, it would be like the stupidest, gayest, most dumbest fucking thing on the planet. But no, we like Cyberpunk, and we like CD Projekt Red, and we like that trailer with the girl with the blood and titties. Like, that's it. I mean, that's all it is. That's how everyone treats everything that comes around. Does it fit what I like? No one is just like, oh, maybe it'll be okay. Yeah, everything's hate everything or love everything, and it's just
I agree. It's also just, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like people expect too much from stuff like this, and it's like, what else do you want from a superhero game besides you get to blow shit up as X hero? And it's not shitty controls. It's well presented, and it looks, like it's not, just a slog through a bunch of shit. I don't know. I agree. I feel like people just want to hate things. We'll talk. And you know what? That's our next topic. Let's just jump into the next thing. Because, oh boy, I'm really mad at motherfuckers trying to act like Last of Us 2 is not a good game. I'm really like.
I mean, I still don't get why people. I mean, I know part of it has to do with the Schindler's List tweet that we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm, which is, yeah.
I mean, a lot of it has to do with that. I mean, it just does. I don't get why
I didn't know that, actually.
So upset at this game.
I've been trying to avoid spoilers, so I'm not even entirely sure, but I did look at some of the Metacritic reviews. Have you played the game at all?
I'm 4, maybe 5 hours in or something like that. I played. It's fine. I saw some people complaining that it's not fun, like it's boring.
Which I don't agree.
No, I don't agree either. I think the beginning of the game is similar to the first, where it's
very similar
on plot.
Yes,
and teaching you how to do stuff like, like tutorials do.
And it takes about the same amount of time too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought, like, when I heard that and then I played it, it kind of takes the same amount of time the first one does to do all the opening and the walk you through how to kill dudes and do stuff.
It's the same. It takes about the same amount of time. It takes like 30 minutes longer or something, only because you're switching in between people and all these things happen. But yeah, no, But I also do think it has a lot to do with the streamability of it, because a lot of the negative stuff I saw came from people who just wanted to stream the game, and they streamed it for an hour and then they stopped. Right? Like, which is hilarious. It's almost like the game wasn't made for streaming.
Well, I think it's definitely not made to be entertaining to just like sit there and watch someone else push the buttons and do, because it's like, is it fun to watch someone else watch a movie?
Right. That's the
game isn't just watching a movie either, but like it is a very
it's a personal experience. Like it's a very single player experience. It's not meant to be like a, hey, here's this Dark Souls build I'm doing, let's see how this works out type of thing.
Can you tell me why people are upset at this game?
So
I know a lot of people like Neil Druckmann and all that.
Well, yeah, that too. I mean, people don't like Neil Druckmann, blah 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 blah. I think he said some stupid stuff, but I still like the games. I've mostly been seeing that. Yes, I've seen the thing you said about people saying the game is boring, which I still think is bullshit. The game I can't stop playing this game. I think every stretch I play it's like 3 or 4 hours. But I basically was like, no, I really fuck with the game, but a lot of people are not. There's other people.
Oh yeah, you have more than like 6 characters in the whole game.
There's a lot more characters.
But at the same time, I would say like 90% of the characters are still like white people. Like,
yes,
which is completely fine. But I don't see where the argument. Like, there's an Asian guy that I've seen.
There are some Asian characters, and some of the infected you kill are Asian. Ooh.
Yeah, and they're like people in. I don't know. If that's why people are upset, then I have nothing.
I've been seeing a ton of things about people say it's a movie game. It's not fun to watch, which I think it's so fucking stupid. Because it's not fun to watch. That's why you play it. And also, like I said, I disagree. I've been watching Haley play, and I like watching. Like there are parts in the game when you can get different things, and if you don't get it at one point, you can get it later. Like it's cool to see how that works. But I think the game is great. I think it gets a lot of its points across very well. Some people don't like the game because they're like, I don't want a game to try to tell me that doing bad things is bad. And I'm like, shut up, because that's what the first game was. Stop acting like this is a new thing. That's the game.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Well, they're like, it's so draining and it's so sad, and I'm like, the first one was sad too. Like, what are you talking about? Like, people are just trying to
this kind of goes back to our John Wick Schindler's List thing. To me, it does, at least. How would people rate Schindler's List today with amongst your John Wicks and your Terminator 6s and all that stuff? I mean, I think the point that was trying to be made is seen clear now. You're talking about two different. I mean, you're talking about
Chevar. I understand that, but like I said last week, and I repeated over and over, 100% get the point he was making. I get the point. Mm-hmm. I totally understand the point he was making. I feel like people are too sensitive. I don't think the game's that people have been like, oh man, I have to stop after a certain point. It's just so sad. Shut the fuck up. It's not that bad.
Okay.
It's sad. It's gory. It's got some messed up stuff in it, but it's not that bad. Like, calm down. Like,
yeah, but you're going on a different path there. I back to that metaphor.
I don't know why you still want to defend this nigga so bad.
I'm not it's not defending. It's saying it completely makes sense. People want the bang bang, nothing matters. We know how it's gonna end up. John Wick survives and shoots more guys, and then John Wick 4, and then John Wick 5, and John Wick.
I know, Chevar. I know the point. I know. I get it. That's what I'm saying. I understand that. I just think the Schindler's List thing was funny. I don't have anything else to add.
No, I'm not saying. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. Are people's opinions and reactions to this game not supporting what that metaphor was saying?
No, I don't think it's supporting it, because the only people who are saying that are the people who were saying that before. I don't think that that's like a general consensus thing. That's not what's being said. Like I said, I understand that it's the Schindler's List John Wick. I get it. I totally get it. I get what that guy was saying. I didn't say his point was moot. I didn't say his point didn't make any sense. I just said it was funny the way he said it. Now,
okay, but all right, you keep going back to that when I'm trying to move us to now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, it's people want bang bang, continue, and go forward and press on, and you're the hero, and blah 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 blah. And Last of Us isn't that. It's dark and it's deep and it's Schindler's List. I get that. I just don't.
No, that. Okay.
What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
What? Just say what you're gonna say.
I tried to explain it twice, and you said the same thing.
Explain it now. Go ahead. Go.
No, it's fine.
Explain it now. I'm not moving on to explain it. Just explain it.
I'm not gonna say the same thing a third time.
Just explain it.
I'm not gonna say the same thing.
I ain't gonna move on till you explain it. Just explain it. Explain it.
I'm done. You said what you had to say. You can say it again if you want, but I
thought you had a point to make. That you said you didn't want to repeat or whatever.
Yeah, I don't
because you wanted to bring up the Schindler's List guy again. So come on, get out there, fight for his rights.
I don't know what you want me to say.
You said you had some more shit to say, and you said I want to repeat myself.
So you're asking me to repeat myself? As I said, I want to repeat myself.
All right. So next topic. So we pretty much have confirmation that Mortal Kombat and Injustice are coming to next-gen consoles. Whoopie fucking do. We knew this. But I more so want to talk about, what do we want from the next couple of games out of this? I mean, I personally, I mean, spoiler alert for Mortal Kombat Aftermath. If you haven't played it, just skip like 30 seconds. But I want to see Mortal Kombat redone with Kung Lao in Liu Kang's place, like Liu Kang did with his ending in Aftermath. But also, I wouldn't be opposed to them just, I don't know, I want them to continue the story, but I think it would have to be like a reboot thing again.
I don't even want more of the, like, I'm done. I think the story is fine and done. You can do more or something, but I'm not a reboot kind of guy. Like, the reason I like Mortal Kombat story is people can say reboot as much as they want, but it's not a reboot. It's a continuation. It's
I
just
know it is
done.
a continuation, but
It's just done
wouldn't this also be a continuation?
I mean, it depends on what they do. But
well, if it's Fire God Liu Kang and Kung Lao, isn't that a continuation?
And then what do they do? There's no Sub-Zero, no Scorpion, no. I mean, what do they do?
What do you mean no Sub-Zero?
That's what I'm saying. Listen. What do they do? If he goes back to you go back to Great Kung Lao, then you're going back.
That wasn't Great Kung Lao. That was just Kung Lao.
That was Great Kung Lao.
No, that was just the regular Kung Lao.
Okay. Anyway, you go back.
Okay.
You go back and what do you do? The same thing for a third time?
I mean, why not? I mean, what else do you want? Do you want brand new characters and a new setting?
I'd rather them do what they do best. I want them to make the traditional fighting game that is Smash. I want them to make a 2.5D game like we've got now with a ton of characters spanning all these franchises, whether it's Alien, Predator, comic books, Mortal Kombat. Give me the 50, 60, 80 character rosters you get with Smash. I mean, the story stuff is great. It is. You can put a story in there. But the most fun part is having all these different characters you can play with. That's why Smash does as well as does, because it's just a smorgasbord of franchises together. I want that, but a real fighting game. Because to me, Smash is just too unbalanced, too casual. I think it's really smart and innovative in some ways, but it's also not your traditional type of fighting game. That's what I want.
I mean,
I'd like an Injustice 3, but as far as Mortal Kombat, I'd rather them just have an all-star game.
I'm good on the guest kit. I want Mortal Kombat. I don't want Mortal Kombat and a bunch of other niggas. I'm good on that. I mean, as it stands right now, I could take or leave the guest characters regardless. I prefer to have new characters. I think that they should just do the whole Great Kung Lao thing and maybe make some new characters. Maybe have the shit they do in other games. They're like, oh, this is just a different version of Sub-Zero, or like it's just the old Sub-Zero or some shit. Like, I don't know. I don't want, a guest fighter with 40, 50 characters with no fatalities, because they probably can't do that with half the licenses. Does not sound very fun. We already got that about 10 years ago, and we don't like to talk about that game.
Well, like, to me, just making another kind of Sub-Zero and another school, like, that stuff's not fun. I mean, I'd rather them, if they're going to do that, I'd rather them just keep the same characters and have a third type of fighting game that they work on. You know what I mean? And like, because they want to do something new and different. They have already said that. They're tired of doing the same things over and over and over again. And they might even get bought out. I mean, WB might get sold to EA or Activision or whoever.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. If it's not Mortal Kombat, I don't really want it. I mean, Injustice is cool. I've just always been way more of a Mortal Kombat person, and I don't want, like I said, I don't want the Sub-Zero fighting fucking Joker, but that's like the game. It's not just Joker showing up. Like, I don't know. I want these games to, I don't know. I kind of want them to keep going with the story, but maybe do something different with it in terms of like maybe different fights you can trigger or different things that you can do to make the story turn out different. Kind of go the old school, like, you know, your choices actually matter thing. But I mean, if anything, I just want them to have more ways to play these games in terms of just, you know, play styles for characters, more customizability, make all the characters different. I mean, I don't know. I want both of them. I think an Injustice would be cool. I'm just more excited for Mortal Kombat. I kind of don't care what the story is. They could even do a fucking like Street Fighter type thing where it's just everybody has their own story mode and it's just random shit. Like I don't care anymore. I kind of just want another one. But I don't mind if the story keeps going. I mean, Tekken's been fucking going for how many years? Why would Mortal Kombat need to stop?
No, I don't mind if it keeps going, but you're talking about new console, new gen, like something new. I mean, that's what I would think for new. If they went on and just made another Mortal Kombat, that's fine. I'm not gonna not buy it. But if we're talking like the thing with fighting games, you can't. What they are essentially, all the creativity is inside of there. The way they play, whether it's a hyper fighter or, you know, I don't even know what you want to call never because they're American fighting games, but they're the ones who make them. So it's like I don't even know how you categorize a NetherRealm game. Really, they play uniquely, right? You've got hyper fighters, you've got your arena fighters, you've got traditional like Street Fighter, but even Street Fighter always plays different every time. Yeah. I think there's not much you can do with a new system. It doesn't matter how powerful the Xbox or PlayStation 5 is. Figuring out new things to do besides graphical improvements or like frame, like you can do more cinematic stuff, which is what they do a lot in these games. But all the creativity in fighting games is in the game and how it's done. So I don't know.
Right. No, I get what you mean. I don't know. I also would just like another Shaolin Monks type attempt again. That game was fucking great.
Yeah, if you had a Shaolin Monks type of game,
I think that'd be awesome.
The characters in it, I just don't see why. To me, fighting games are no different from sports games. You should. I mean, they're kind of like that. Street Fighter 5 has been around for 5 years now, right?
Yeah,
they should last 5 or 6 years and get multiple updates regularly. I think coming back, and
that's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah,
that's all I really need. I just also need more people to play.
And MK could last easily another 4 or 5 more years because I feel like that just makes more sense. And they could. I think they're gonna do another combat pack. I don't see why they wouldn't do another combat pack. They've done 2 already, so I don't see why they wouldn't be around the corner.
They might. I don't see why they couldn't do another one either. But
it's still one. It wasn't still one of the top selling games like of all time. Technically,
it was the number 1 game of last year, I think. Yeah. That it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the number 1 fastest selling game last year.
Okay. Well, good luck to them. I hope they do something cool. I mean, the guys fighting thing doesn't sound that bad as long as it's gritty. I just want the violence and the fatalities and stuff mostly.
Yeah, me too. I like that, but I also like. To me, they're the most creative fighting game team. Street Fighter team is. I think they do a lot of things for people who. I don't know. To me, what they do and put out is not that creative with 5. Like it's just. Guilty Gear is really interesting. I want to see what they do with Strive, but they haven't even announced the 5 version yet. And Guilty Gear is every character in Guilty Gear is so different.
Very different. I like that though. That's good.
It is, but then you end up
really
playing one character the whole time because it takes that much effort.
I mean, you could easily say the same thing about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but you could also, once you understand Mortal Kombat, characters don't play that. They don't have different functions.
Okay, yeah, no, there's a lot more variation.
Guilty Gear, there are people that have different bars. They have different. You play characters completely differently.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not the same.
Okay. No, that makes sense. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I want another Mortal. I'll always want Mortal Kombat. I think it's cool that it's one of the oldest games that's still fucking around after a long time. It isn't Mario or some stupid shit. Injustice. I mean, they can keep that shit. They gas that shit up forever. There could be 12 more Injustices. That's not even like a question. So
Yeah, you can always do an Injustice.
yeah, that's not even.
But I'm starting to feel like, okay, we're gonna do Injustice. I want everyone in it, and if you're gonna give me everyone, why don't we have a Marvel DC game? There's really no reason not to. Then these companies aren't even on their own anymore. You got Marvel, you got WB. Disney isn't gonna have anyone make a Marvel game.
Nope.
Just, I mean, yeah, you have Marvel vs. Capcom, but that went to shit really hard.
Oh yeah, that went terrible. No, yeah, no. I think that it's about time for one of those things. They need to kind of get out. They need to kind of work the stuff together to make that work. But yeah, no. I don't know. This next gen is going to be interesting because I wonder if it is going to be a. I know that people like to say that this most recent generation was like an incremental change from the last one. I still disagree for the most
I think
part.
this generation is a big change.
I thought it was gigantic. I go back and look at some PS3 games, I almost throw up. But so I disagree with those people.
Graphics, the integration of the net and how their media boxes, you can do almost anything on them. You can stream now. You can record from them. Talking to your friends is so much easier.
For sure.
The games, I mean, the stuff we can do in the games.
The games are so much better play-wise. Yeah, I feel like it'd be really difficult to find a game you can't sink like 100 hours to today. I feel like that's just picky.
Clearly easier for developers to get more. I mean, look at Injustice versus just the graphics. Injustice versus Mortal Kombat. Those games made by the same company, only 2 years apart, and Mortal Kombat looks way better.
Yeah, no, Mortal Kombat looks a lot better, and I mean, you can look at games from the beginning of this generation and the end of this generation. There's a gigantic change. Just like the last generation, there was a huge change from end of PS3 to the beginning of PS3. Beginning of PS3, it looked good, but I don't know. I mean, it's only because PS2 games look so bad. Like that's the only reason some PS3 games still look passable. So I'm looking forward to seeing how not only graphics, yes, but how games can go that extra mile to kind of be more interactive and different. Because I mean, like some of the things I really like about Last of Us is that yes, it's a linear game. Yes, you know what you're doing all the time. You're going to this one goal. It's not open world, but there are so many different ways to interact with things. Like there's so many ways to go about situations.
I just finished an almost open world-ish kind of part.
Yeah. That's chapter 4. I'm pretty sure. No. That's different.
You could spend like 2 or 3 hours going around, or you can just continue the story.
Yeah, no, and I think that's cool because I don't think 10 years ago we didn't have games like that. We didn't have games that had sections that were open world and you could basically play a whole game there, and then go on the rest of the game, and that was just like one section of it. Like that's awesome. Like there's a lot more varied gameplay this time, and I feel like people need to kind of stop taking that for granted, because I feel like that's what I've gotten most out of this generation, is that there's so many more games now with RPG elements, with exploration elements, with
imagine if we didn't have Steam. We would have so many like straight months of decent to great games. Steam ruins the ecosystem of good games.
Oh, for sure. I like I said, I disagree with people who say that there wasn't that big of a change. I remember that was a big thing at the beginning of this generation. People were like, "It's not that big of a change," and I'm like, the console's been out for like 6 months, dude. Like, shut the fuck. It just came out. People haven't even done everything.
Remember, no one has their own thoughts these days. They read something on Facebook or Twitter, and then they're like, yeah, that's it.
Fucking stupid. And I feel like they have another opportunity to do the same kind of thing this generation. Like, you can combine genres in games now. Like the whole thing we said about the fucking, you know, Shaolin monk. Like if I got a Shaolin monks, that could just be the story mode or like a different mode of the next Mortal Kombat game, and they're gonna have its own fleshed out shit in it that doesn't make it seem like a mini game. Like, and you have the storage and the time to do that now, and it doesn't have to be, here's a 3-hour game, you only get to do one thing. Okay, cool. And I feel like out of Last of Us 2, that's what I really got out of it, is like there's so much shit to do in that game, and it is like a linear experience. Like there's different conversations you can have, there's different ways you can approach people. The enemies you fight have different dialogue. They all say each other's names. They all have different names as well. When you sneak up on them, they fucking react to you different ways. The dog, like there's so many. I mean, like even when you like the facial animations and shit, like when you like stab people and shit is like it's crazy. And I mean, it allows you to do so many more things with game design, like without using big fucking blinking lights to lead somebody somewhere. So, you know, I'm excited for the next generation. I just think that I'm not excited for people saying this isn't that much different in, you know, March of 2021.
Oh, that's just people. Everyone is, it's so weird. Everyone's so jaded and high at the same time. Everything is horrible and everything is great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Crazy time.
Got any reader questions or?
I don't got any reader questions, sadly. Still no reader questions. I did want to recommend some stuff, though. I already said it, but if you have a PlayStation headset or just a good pair of headphones, when you play Last of Us 2, put the headphones on, make sure the settings are good.
It's the first time in a long time I like sat down with a game with headphones on to play.
The sound is very good. And there's things you won't hear. I have like surround sound and stuff, but there's stuff you won't hear as well if you don't play it with headphones. Like clickers make like these weird sounds, and you know, you can hear like the blood like, you know, squirt out of people's necks and shit when you kill them. Also, I would also like to recommend, what the fuck is this? My phone isn't working. Hip Hop Evolution on Netflix is pretty cool. Check that out. It's just about hip hop history stuff. It's been on there for a few years, but I actually started watching it. It's pretty good. It's short episodes. They talk about different, you know, sets of hip hop, how they grew, like the West Coast, East Coast, Atlanta. I think they have one about Houston as well. But I've been checking those out. And then, do you know the LOL Hounds? The guy who plays a lot of Mortal Kombat, and it's like the Nerf X character .exe or whatever.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, check out the LOL Hounds on YouTube. He plays a lot of Mortal Kombat characters, and he just does online matches. And it's like he just uses a lot of funny effects, and he kind of shows like how some characters, like what their best strength is and stuff like that. He's not like the best Mortal Kombat player in the world though, but he is entertaining. And I think you told me about this a long time ago, but Vati Vidya has been making a lot more videos about Dark Souls stuff since all the Demon Souls stuff came out. So I've been enjoying that because it's easier to fill in the holes in the lore that I thought I knew and then I didn't. And I was like, I absorbed that wrong. So if you like Dark Souls or want to hear cut content from Dark Souls or things that almost made it in, or see how it works and stuff like that, and how it relates to like the story that already happens in the games, go check out Vati Vidya. It's VAATI VIDYA. And yeah, no, that's it. But Last of Us 2 is great. Don't listen to Review Bombing. If you're interested, go get it. If you haven't played it, you haven't played the first one, it's probably pretty fucking cheap right now. Just go buy it, beat it in a week.
I think it was free on PlayStation Plus at some point.
Yeah, so it was free like 2 or 3 months ago.
Everyone should have it. If you don't, I mean, it's still cheap. I don't have any recommendations, but remember we do a live show usually on Tuesday at 8 Central Time in the Discord. If you need the Discord link, go to our Twitter. What's our Twitter?
It is at Super Chevy Bro, not Bros, because we're gonna kill that person.
That's Super Chevy Bro. Go to Twitter and the pinned comment should have a Discord link in there, and you can join and watch the show. And that means you can also do things like write to us during the show answer
Great.
questions, those kind of things. You can
Live
also follow
questions.
us on, huh?
Live questions.
Oh yeah. You can also follow us on Facebook. Are you doing stuff on Facebook?
Yeah, no, Facebook's still rolling. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube, and yeah, just rate the podcast, share it with people, etc., etc. You know the fucking drill.
Alrighty, guys. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time.